Thanks for doing that. I didn't set up the sound. Audio. Let's go USB.
The Ville. Ravens football on ESPN Louisville is presented by Liquor Barn, Body Armor Sports Drink, and Molly Malone.
30 seconds.
Home of the Raven.
Yeah.
Can't get to Double Dogs? Bring Double Dogs to you. All you need to do is fetch and go. With Black Angus burgers, wings tossed in homemade sauces, and dog.
Sounds good.
Everyone in your family can enjoy their favorites. Now offering family-style dinner deals for a limited time. See our menu at www.
No worries.
Give us a call to order. Come pick your order up curbside today at the Middletown Commons location. Take the night off and let Double Dogs do the cooking with Fetch and Go.
Time now for the Louisville Basketball Pregame Show on ESPN Louisville. Cards Basketball is presented by Caesars Southern Indiana. Come, see, conquer. Liquor Barn, where Kentuckians go to celebrate life. Now delivering Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance. Big on commitment. Great Flood Brewing Company. Louisville made and brewer made. Moby Dick. O'Brien Ford. Baptist Health. Don't let joint pain get in your way. Take Baptist Health's knee and hip pain assessment today. UPS Jobs. Apply today at upsjobs.com. Delivered by Papa John's and Kroger. Fresh for everyone. Now, here's Marcus Maben.
Welcome back to the official ESPN Louisville Pregame Show. I am your host, Marcus Maben. I will be taking you all the way up to game time, all the way up to the ACC opener taking on the Pitt Panthers. I'm excited, people. I got to tell you, I'm going to do something. I'm starting off this show in the most awkward way imaginable. I'm going to do something that I've banned co-hosts from doing. I've banned fans from doing. I've banned everyone around me for multiple years from doing what I'm going to do today. I'm attaching these two games together. I'm attaching Pittsburgh and Kentucky together. And I know it's a sin. I know it's a sports sin, but I'm going to tell you why. As I talk. By the way, welcome Jack Grossman, who will be filling in as partly co-host. Do you get excited when you know I'm running a solo show because you get to fire out a couple extra hot ones?
Oh, you know it.
Listen, that works. But yeah, Jack Grossman will grab a couple of stats for me and fire them in whenever I need them. But here's the thing. I'll jump right into it today because we're going to be getting a little bit of breaking news, hopefully some news that I told you last night in the Midnight with Marcus Maben. Not that I'm doing a shameless plug on the Midnight Stream shows, but a lot of good information has come out of that stream show that has come to fruition today. And I will brag, I will spike the ball, and I will not feel guilty about it. So getting back to the original reason that for the first time in forever that I am going to pin these games together, because on film review of the Pitt Panthers, you know what I said to myself? Pittsburgh opened the season. They lost to St. Francis.
We do have some breaking news about the Panthers that just broke up minutes ago from Jeff Borzell, if you want to hear it.
I do.
Pittsburgh will be without its top two scorers for tonight's game as Justin Champagne and
Champagny.
That's such a good name, Champagny. And Tony both suffered leg injuries in practice over the weekend. So both of them are out tonight.
Well, yet again, Jack, Play the music all over. You know the rules. You know the rules. When we get breaking news like that, that means it's an entirely different. Welcome back to the official ESPN Louisville pregame show. I'm your host, Marcus Maven, going to be taking you up all the way until game time versus the very, very, very injured Pitt Panthers. People, every once in a while, I tell you to pin some games together, put some games together, but not this year. You never put two games together, people. One game is Pittsburgh. You take it one game at a time. Pittsburgh is entirely independent of any other game that you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying, people. The reason I changed that, they're out. Two top scorers for Pittsburgh, both leg injuries. Now, I'm going to avoid joking around and go back to what I was originally going to say because it really still applies. I was being facetious by restarting and saying that this is going to be a whole different type of show. The reason I enjoyed the film study of Pittsburgh so much is because it is the perfect attitude and tempo that Kentucky will play. I mean, almost to the T. It has the energy and activity level of big men. They are 25th. I believe Mark Ennis said that. I knew they were tops. I won't call it a blunder because it was a conscious effort. And coming up with the game plan for the Wisconsin game. You know what I said? I said I would challenge them to shoot threes all day long. I don't know if they're really a good shooting team, but what you cannot do is let them just old man veteran you in the paint because you'll be in foul trouble and free throws, and you don't want to get into a foul trouble free throw battle with Wisconsin. Now, if they just move it around and they get to the paint and they kick it out and make the extra pass and execute perfect, like they did when it came to shooting jump shots, they ate your lunch. And a lot of nights, Wisconsin will eat any team's lunch. But I was willing to take the risk of making them make those decisions rather than get it to the inside, one-on-one, up and under, foul, beating up on our guys. This team has got to be so aggressive in the paint. It's going to be our Achilles heel. What better matchup than athletes, top rebounding team in the country, or up there in the country, to get you ready for Kentucky? Because I know that everybody can't wait to make some guy hits 8 threes. Who? Basket, taking it to the basket, getting fouled. A lot of our bad games against Kentucky have been just because the aggressive team wins. The team that waits and waits to see what happened and waits to see what the coach's system does and waits to see what opens up. That team looks lethargic, slow start. By the time they get it going, the other team's running downhill. And this goes both ways. Both games, both when Louisville wins or when Kentucky wins, the aggressor, especially the aggressor on the boards. We've had teams with screamers, and I mean that as far as rebound and scream. It's a different person when it's a lot of noise. You ever seen when the crowd is rocking and a guy gets the rebound and he does the tough guy rebound? He goes, oh, right? That's really, really easy when everybody in the arena is screaming about the rebound, right? It's different when there is not a lot of sound. When you scream and the guy in front of you, the opponent, sees your face up close, hears your voice up close, that's a totally different vibe. Pittsburgh players were doing that. in Miami. They were screaming in people's faces off the rebounds. They were taking the fight to Miami so fully that I'm like, I hope Pittsburgh has that same energy against the University of Louisville and forces either the University of Louisville big guys to match its intensity, go above their intensity, or give Coach Mack a reason to say, you will never win if you cower to this level of aggression. This is what Mac needs. This is the coaching tape he needs. And again, I'm not going to put everything on the Kentucky game, and I know it's a big season, but the rebounding thing is not going to go away. It's always going to be your Achilles heel, especially under a Coach Mac system. His teams are not good if they don't dominate the rebounding advantages. Like I said, he had a shooting team last year. That's an anomaly. Coach Mac teams have to absolutely dominate what goes on inside the paint.
Yeah, that's the number one most fundamental thing that they do is they rebound, and that's how he bases everything off with the defense, saying that's why he doesn't go for steals. That's why he doesn't try to go for block shots, because he's saying we want to make you take tough shots, and we're going to get the defensive rebound at the end of the possession. If you don't get the defensive rebound, then everything else is just kind of a failure.
Listen, you give away the ability to get out in fast breaks because there's no gambling, there's no ball pressure. So you don't get a lot of turnovers. You don't get a lot of fast breaks. You don't get a lot of all the things that a lot of high energy, high wire gambling, high pressure teams get. So your one thing is limit them to one shot. And if they have a chance to score 100 points, you hold them to 50 because it's one shot. If they shoot 50%, you win the game. That is what Pittsburgh is going to give you. So people, I encourage you, when you're watching this game tonight, keep an eye on it. Listen, and you want to know how much attitude has changed between Wisconsin and this game. Like I said, I understand if Coach knows more about the guys, the individual players, conditioning level and things like that. That's independent of the aggression level you should see tonight. And again, you're going to get a perfect warm up from Kentucky. By the way, people, the phone lines are open. 8150-939 is the number. 3831-939 is the text line. What are you most looking forward to out of your team with this game? Because coming off of last game, you don't want to make last game indicative of individual players of what do you do without Carly of being the second half David Johnson from the beginning. Is David Johnson, does he have to wait to kind of get in the flow of the game? How long does it take for him to decide that, okay, it's go time, or is he just kind of a flow kind of guy? You want to learn more about your players. All right, listen, are you going to see Gabe? Coach Mack praised Gabe highly. And listen, he doesn't praise easily. He still hates David Johnson. I'm convinced
not
about
as
that.
much as he hates Aiden Gahan.
Yeah, listen, he loathes Aiden Gahan. He just hates David Johnson. Actually, he doesn't hate David Johnson. I got to come up with a
What's up, Marcus, man?
Feeling good.
First, I want to know, is everybody playing tonight?
Yes, it's funny. The first joke I made is I feel like I'm always waiting to get some last minute news, on the Louisville team. So I'll trust it when I see them actually tip off. But yes,
because that last game, Louisville needed Carly Jones, and they're gonna need Carly Jones tonight because he's the one that set the tempo for this team on the offensive side. And you saw in the last game without Carly Jones, Louisville lost on the offensive side and defensive side. I'm gonna think like they act like they've never been there before. So hopefully, having they two stores out the game, I'm kind of upset about that because I want to see Louisville take on the best before they play Kentucky.
No,
So
I do agree with that,
Lawrence. Louisville's an easy win this game tonight because there ain't no reason this game to be close. Because they really need to focus on trying to get ready for Kentucky because I got bad feeling on Saturday.
Lawrence, I appreciate the call. Tread lightly when you discuss your bad feelings about the Kentucky game around me, people. I think I've established that over the course of the week. I am not the one to drag into the I don't know how we're gonna lose. I just know we're gonna lose thing. Like I don't play that game. You can listen, you can express yourself, but your thoughts better be well thought out, well versed. You better have a damn good reason to go into the the disappointing mentality. I'll say that. Listen, there is a rumor, and had you been listening to the Midnight Show, you'd heard this rumor before. There is a rumor that Josh Nickelberry will be suited and booted for this game. Now, I don't want to confirm or deny, but I would keep my antennas open.
Scouring Twitter to see if that news breaks, and we'll pass it along one way or the other.
What kind of world do we live in where Twitter is the informational source?
2020. that is the world we are in.
Just did you just type his name in and see if anything popped up?
I'm just kind of been going through all the different Louisville reporters, seeing if anyone's tweeted about him. I'm just going through the good old timeline.
Yeah, I usually just go straight for the name, go straight latest. Hold on. Okay, well, yeah, there's nothing as of late for Josh Nickelberry. So yeah, we are actually waiting on the last second. Listen, he showed up in the videos, kind of going up and down the floor. We don't know if that's limited workout, stuff like that. But again, we'll see about that. I'll say this. I run into this problem often. And I do feel like I'm on an island a lot of times when I explain, when you find out guys that are superstar guys on your team, guys that normally get all the credit for your wins, and you have a team full of effort guys, and the scores get the. I'm telling you, people, there's a different mentality in the locker room when you get your opportunity. Listen, the thing that hurt our feelings as a fan base last game against Wisconsin is because we saw an opportunity for David Johnston to show he could lead the team on his own. We thought he had an opportunity to show he was a highly draftable player. We thought Sam Williamson had the opportunity to show, listen, you're healthy now, you're fresh. This is a Big Ten game, a Big Ten team. You're a McDonald's All-American. This is an opportunity of a lifetime to show what you can do. And we did not get good performances out of either one of them. So it was the missed opportunity to show how good you are is what we were disappointed at. But we were extra disappointed because we knew it was the truth for that opportunity. The exact same thing is going on right now in Pittsburgh. The opportunity, I mentioned it earlier on Middays with Marcus Maben. I'll paint the picture as quickly. I'll give you the Cliff Notes version. Imagine you're on a team and your coach is always yelling at everybody, and your number one assistant has to play good cop. He has to be the guy that, hey man, don't worry about it. Coach is just, mad. Coach is tripping. It's always an assistant coach that's in your ear saying exactly the opposite of what the head about to play a game, and all of a sudden the good cop turned into the head coach. You ever notice every time a coach gets fired, you get that initial burst of good play out of any new team? Happens in every sport, happens in every league in the world. Coach gets fired because coach is the taskmaster. Coach has to be the guy that yells at everybody all the time. He's the coach because he's the best. He's better at what he does in its totality than the assistant coaches a lot of times. But hey, y'all like to do that press? Listen, coach doesn't like to start with the press. We're going to start with the press today. Yeah, let's do it. Hey, y'all, don't make me look stupid. I'm going to bring in all the things y'all want to do, and you have a chance. Head coach is sitting at home watching y'all. You have a chance right now to show him what you're capable of. Guys coming off the bench who want more playing time. Full court press that we've been asking coach. Let's press. We'll get some turnovers. All these things that good cop coach hears the players complaining about and stuff like that. You might get those opportunities tonight. And so I would expect the first wave of Haymaker is gonna be like the first wave of your Kentucky game. And again, these players know that the talent level at Pittsburgh is not going to be anywhere near what the talent level of Kentucky is, but it's a training ground. It's the perfect training ground of intensity.
I'll say this, and Lawrence kind of alluded to it too, with the two guys from Pittsburgh being out, the consensus of, man, we wanted those guys to play to get Pittsburgh in full strength to prepare for Kentucky. Yep. If they're playing anyone else other than Kentucky next, everyone is elated that Pittsburgh's playing with their two best players. It just shows how much Kentucky matters to the fan base and to people when they evaluate the game that's right before the Kentucky game. For any other opponent, no one would ever have that thought process.
Good point. Almost stuck the landing, Jack. It's not just Kentucky. If you were about to play Duke, or you were playing Duke, you want people at full strength. You want your test at full strength.
Right.
So Kentucky, Duke, Carolina, it's a couple of those teams where you act this way about.
I would say, like, for me, as just a basketball fan, I think it's a better product when both teams are at full strength. Right. So you want to see it from that standpoint. But if I'm just putting a Louisville fan hat on unless you're going into that Kentucky game, I want the other team to have those issues.
Yeah. And again, this is the game where even Marcus Maben starts to break the rules a little bit. Like, this is like the first half of the Kentucky game to me. Like, I'm going to measure your intensity level with I'm going to measure how much Coach Mack has gotten to your brains, how non-competitive and non-physical you guys looked against Wisconsin. Fatigue is one thing, but you looked that way from the opening of the game. You did not take the fight whatsoever. So if Coach Mack has been stressing this nonstop, expect something close to a fight early in the game. If he's gotten his point across. Now, if they did because here's the thing, sometimes they do throw the tape in the trash, burn it, don't think about that. And, there's two ways to use your previous game film. Some like, I would probably use the first half of the Wisconsin film and I'd burn the second half, because that Wisconsin team defense lightened up. They weren't as intense. So your comeback and your offensive stuff that started working in the second half, I don't think you were playing against the same Wisconsin team. So in film review, we're just going Wisconsin first half. And however long our film review is, if it's a 40 minutes, it's 40 minutes of the first half twice of stuff like that for the game film. Also, if your mentality is where it needs to be, you won't even be able to tell that Pittsburgh was missing two guys. And though Carlik Jones was not playing in that game, you still felt like Wisconsin's focus, their attention to detail, and their execution had nothing to do with the people that were on the floor at all. Now, Louisville has a chance to pull the exact same thing, where if you look focused, and look intense, and your attitude hasn't changed when you found out Pittsburgh won't have their best players, that's another thing you'll notice immediately. If it's another two guys that are just filling it up on you, a guy who averages whatever, and he's blowing around you and hitting floaters and stuff, you let your wing down, and that's a huge lack of maturity overall. It will be a horrible, horrible sign. But again, I am going to be watching this game in the mood of this is Kentucky first half, with an extended 3-4 day halftime. This is the attitude and mentality coming off the Wisconsin game is the best time to get a player's attention. So however Coach Mack uses this 48 hours to get these players' attention, 3 days or whatever, you're going to see it early in this game. I'll tell you what, we'll take our one commercial break. That's from the official ESPN Louisville pregame show on 93.9 The Ville.
Bellarmine basketball is back on the air tomorrow.
Gives to Penn coming from right to left. Dillon down the lane, scores! What a foul! What a move! He's a whirling dervish here.
Yeah.
Join Doug Gourmet and Mark Bug as the Knights travel to South.
Fox Sports South, it's like 6:46, I think.
The Ville and the ESPN Louisville app. If it's Bellarmine basketball, it plays here on ESPN Louisville.
Here's what you missed on The Drive with Mark Ennis.
When it comes to the College Football Playoff Committee and what they did, though, I think the most depressing part, if you are anybody, you're disincentivized to try and build something because they not only are you never going to make it, right? If you are Cincinnati, if you're one of the sort of the non-power fives, you're never going to get in, but they don't even let you just miss.
The Drive, weekdays 3 to 6 on 93.9 The Ville.
When you can't get to Double Dogs, bring Double Dogs to you. All you need to do is fetch and go. With choices like Black Angus burgers, wings tossed in homemade sauces, and dog bowl nachos. Double Dogs will make sure everyone in your family can enjoy their favorites. Now offering family-style dinner deals for a limited time. See our menu at www.doubledogs.biz and then give us a call to order. Come pick your order up curbside today at the Middletown Commons location. Take the night off and let Double Dogs do the cooking with Fetch and Go.
Baltimore Ravens football plays here on ESPN Louisville.
Now he'll dart over to the left, extends the play, fires to the end zone. Touchdown, Dez Bryant, his first as a Raven.
Lamar Jackson and the Ravens are back in action Sunday taking on the Giants. Pre-game coverage begins at 12:30 with kickoff at 1 on 93.9 The Ville. Ravens football on ESPN Louisville is presented by Liquor Barn, Body Armor Sports Drink, and Molly Malone St. Matthews, home of the Raven.
Here's what you missed on Midday.
Back in a minute.
It's Maven.
Have you noticed how quickly Kentucky fans have tried to pull Louisville into their cesspool? I mean, how many times, as a Louisville fan, how many times over the last 24 hours have you heard, well, I mean, basketball just isn't good in this state right now between Louisville and Kentucky? Bro, Louisville's 4-1. Here's what I say to Calipari, though, on this one, and what I say to Coach Mack, because I do think that he is wanting to be put down on this one. And there was a poet from Memphis, Tennessee, who back in the day, Marcus, he said, "Don't save her. She don't want to be saved." So Coach Mack, don't save him. He don't want to be saved on this one. Yeah, go drive that nail in the coffin and end that season on Saturday. With the world watching, go in there and put them down.
Weekdays 10 to noon on 93.9 The Ville.
Welcome back to the official ESPN Louisville pregame show. Getting a little closer to the game time. I can see the traffic is picking up on the text line. Just for a little clarification, says, whoa, Midnight's Maven. That is on the YouTube channel. So, yes, I do not come in here and do a radio show. There's no way we can get Jack to stay up that late to do. Jack, are you a night owl?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'm not in bed till like 1, 2 a.m. most nights.
Gamer night owl?
Oh, absolutely.
What else do you do? You drink?
I'm more of a social drinker, so like I haven't drank much during quarantine just because I'm not into just sitting in my basement drinking by myself type of deal. But
okay, fair enough. Getting back to the story. For those of you who are just joining us at I guess the 31-minute mark, the two top scorers, Tony and Champagny, are out for today's game. They both actually got hurt. When did they say? Today in practice?
Over the weekend in practice.
Over the weekend in practice. So they were trying to make it to this game. So they didn't know they were out earlier in the week, or, so this is just a release. So have we gotten a release on Josh Nickelberry's availability?
Checking again, but not to this point.
Okay. And again, we kind of made a leap of faith seeing Josh Nickelberry. and actually Charles Minlin, joining the team for a couple of activities.
I actually just got per Shannon Russell, Josh Nickelberry is fully ready to play after the offseason knee surgery. So the only two players not available are Malik Williams and Charles Minlin.
Yet again, Marcus Maben told you on Midnight with Marcus Maben, I would expect a new face on the team for this game against Pittsburgh. You're supposed to do that before, I think, though, right?
Either or.
Yeah, it'll put you in the mood. I also, since we are in the middle of the show, again, 8150-939, 3831-939, since we are in the mood for spiking the basketball, and I opened the show knowing full well I was going to break the rules of talking. Listen, I'm not Coach Mack, although if I don't see the performance that I want to see, I will go full Coach Mack on the radio until Saturday. And y'all are just going to have to enjoy it. It'll be the nerdiest, angriest basketball guy on the radio you have ever heard. I promise you that. But since we're in the mood of spiking the ball, and it is rivalry week, I don't mind addressing an elephant in the room that I kind of told you about already. Now, I heard Patty Ice. I heard Mark Ennis on my drive in here. I was sitting in traffic. It's been a long time since I actually sat in 5:30 traffic. I was like, what's this thing right here? Everybody's moving so slow. Because since quarantine hit, traffic's been amazing.
Yeah, that's the one thing. It's like with quarantine ending.
Yes.
That's the one thing. Like, we can live without that.
Traffic is returning. And while I was sitting in traffic, I heard them kind of backing up my sentiments, and I thought I was on an island by myself. Of course, they didn't go quite as far as I do with it, but pointing out Coach Cal looks, what is the word Mark used? It was a wonderful word. It wasn't unhinged. It was on tilt. On tilt, I think was the phrase. Coach Cal looks on tilt, calling out players, poor excuses, going to social media with your player call outs. It's just very classless way he's been addressing some things. And this is coming from the national media people, not just me. I would have said it a long time ago. I've been saying it a long time ago. But when people say he gets the pass for winning and beating Louisville, I say, touche. I can deal with that. But when that stuff came out about the woe is us, they're moving the game from ESPN2 to ESPN1 so they can watch the work. No. Now I told you, and again, some people don't get to hear the show live, so bear with me if you've heard me say this earlier in the day or last night. That game, you got caught with your hand in the cookie jar when Matt called you out about trying to get things changed up at ESPN without our knowledge, without our opinion. Coach Matt caught you and called you out. If you think ESPN, after you called them to get a Louisville game, you know the waivers it takes to call ESPN and try to get an ACC scheduled game moved to make something more convenient for Kentucky. You know what kind of stones that takes? That takes stone, and you got to know you're capable of doing something. You have to have pull to do something like that. I said last night, this is a sham. I said, he wanted that game moved to 1 o'clock. Because here's the thing. Cal is 1-5, right? He's 1-5, people. If he beats Louisville on ESPN2 at 12 o'clock, nobody's watching that. That's 1-5 Kentucky. They suck. Except for people in the state of Kentucky.
Which that's a bigger picture argument and take I've had. Just playing the game in late December is utterly stupid. Because it should never be on noon on ESPN2.
It should never be at noon on ESPN2.
And it should never be at 1 on ESPN going up against the NFL in a bowl game.
So check this out. Lo and behold, Louisville gets boat raced by Wisconsin. Cal's looking at that. Ooh, we can get them. They got exposed. Louisville gets boat raced by Wisconsin. All of a sudden, 1 o'clock ESPN main page now, Kentucky, Louisville. Now, people who leave their channel on ESPN are going to see Kentucky, Louisville, and you're going to stop at it, right? Now, he needs this win more than anything he's ever needed outside of a championship. He needs this game against Louisville to say everything's fine. It's not mass exodus. My players are come together for a good win and rivalry. And he needs something to be able to pound his chest to right now because he's floundering, right? Get smoked by Wisconsin, the game changes. All of a sudden, boom, boom, boom. We're on ESPN. We're on the main stage Saturday. Boom. I said it last night. I said, don't be surprised. Do you know who was doing the game?
Schulman and Vitale.
You know who was doing the game before?
Schulman and Billis. Real now that's interesting.
No, it's not, Jack. You listen to me, Jack.
No. I know exactly. I know exactly what's happening.
Jack, you listen to me.
Yes.
I tell you this, and I watched you grow. I watched you roll your eyes back when I said, hey, man, this Dick Vitale thing's a problem. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. This Dick Vitale patronizing Kentucky during recruiting, during Kentucky's benefit, to a point where I said, this is a direct tie-in with the media. You are literally using Dick Vitale as a platform, you know what I'm saying, to recruit Kentucky stuff, right? And I said, Jack, don't you think that's a little odd? This is a year and a half ago, Jack, and you were like, it might be coincidence, you know what I'm saying? And I felt you, because listen, you gave me the same response most people did. And I said, no, this is a problem. So now what do we have, Jack?
We have Dick Vitale calling it 1-5 Kentucky game against Louisville.
We have Dick Vitale
instead of Jay Billis
replacing Jay Billis to call an ESPN. Vitale got almost all of his games cut. He's not the guy anymore. He gets Louisville, Kentucky, ESPN Saturday 1:00
with their top play-by-play guy in Schulman. It's so weird.
Okay, acknowledge.
No, I'm with you on this.
Okay,
yes.
no, you elaborate on. I mean, what I'm saying is, I know I cut you off, but do you feel uncomfortable with that move a little bit?
I feel uncomfortable. I'm mostly disappointed from the standpoint of Billis is so much more entertaining to listen to on a broadcast than Vitale is, and instead of actually getting analysis of the game, we're going to get a 2.5 hour, just public rant about how great Calipari Kentucky is. And probably my first thought was, honestly, we're going to get 2 hours about how great the Duke Carolina game is, which is going to push my button even more.
Yeah, but you won't get that, because the only guy that's going to trump the Kentucky or the North Carolina Duke conversation is Coach Calipari. He gets triple. You know what I did? This is what I did, people. When I found out that Dick Vitale was doing the game, this is what I like to do. When somebody sends me something nasty or something like that, this is what I do. I put my 2 fingers on my MacBook Pro mouse pad, right? Or sometimes I use my mouse, and I just start scrolling down there to Twitter. I don't even look, right? I just scroll as fast as I can for about 45 seconds to a minute of just scrolling, because I want a random screenshot, like of what were you, however far I go back, wherever I stop at, I want to know, what were you tweeting about right then in your life? You know what I'm saying? Like, when people send me an angry message, I want to see how angry you were 6 months ago. And you were probably the same guy that says, I don't want Satterfield, he sucks, before he even got hired. You're the same guy who says, how can you support? You're a piece of crap too. And it's the same guy, right? So my random draw is like one of the best, it's just one of the best techniques to spot just a hater or something, right? I hit December 12th. This is what makes Cal an absolute recruiting machine, because he cares about the kids first and the families first. And it was just like it was a article
from Dickie V.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Oh, I thought you got it. I'm sorry. I messed up the story by not telling you. When I heard Dickie V was doing a game, I did a scroll. It was on December 12th, right? So I scrolled, a couple of finger scrolls, the next one. And shout out, because this is my guy and I like him. It's a story about Derek Anderson. You know who Derek Anderson, Jack, is? He might be a little bit,
hometown Louisville
Ohio
guy,
State.
Went to Kentucky. He was the guy that didn't Patino not play him in the 97 title game?
Yep. Okay, yeah. That's perfect. There's a random story about Derek Anderson going back to college or something, you know what I'm saying, to finish getting his degree from Dick Vitale. And I'm just like, I mean, listen, I know DA, you know what I'm saying? I know him. I done many of days and nights we've been doing battle. He's taught me things, you know what I'm saying? He's embraced me. I did his camps when he was, I know him, you know what I'm saying? But there's no reason that Dick Vitale should be retweeting love fest stories about Derek Anderson completing his. I mean, give me a break. And again, that's pinned up with all his other NCAAs is pathetic. If they don't clear Olivier Sarr, Dick Vitale, you know the rules. You know you can't transfer because of coach leaving, because that crumbles the NCAA everything. You know that. You know the other thing can't be because of pro, draft stuff. Those are the two things and for you to get on and tweet over and over again every day about how Olivier Sarr, and draw attention to how Olivier Sarr is getting cheated and all that good stuff. Dude, you're abusing. You're abusing your I won't even go as so far as to say what he's getting in return, with his charity and stuff like that. I won't go that far publicly. But you mean to tell me you changed that game? You changed the time. And again, this is coming off of Mac's video. Change. You get to the week of the game, you get wasted. You change the game time, change the station, and change the guy doing the game from Jay Billis to Dick Vitale in quote unquote the biggest rivalry in the country. And see, I'll do this because I should be talking about Pittsburgh right now, but hey, listen, we could.
How are you? No offense to Pittsburgh, people care more about the game Saturday.
Yeah, no, that's a point. And again, people, the game is not going to be won by individual personnel in Pittsburgh. It's going to be won by Coach Mack giving his players an attitude adjustment in the paint, on the defensive end, and in the continuity of the offense. That's the analysis. But I talked about it earlier today. Kind of, the hot topic has been people been bombarding Ethan Moore. They're mad at him for doing the I can't watch the game. Oh, you were the original. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah. Okay. So Jack was one of the originals. Set it off with Ethan Moore, who was nice enough to call into the show today. I enjoyed him calling in. But here's the thing: the conversation has been around the talk smack thing, right? And are you allowed to talk smack if you? I mean, I'm scared of you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can talk to you until you show me you dominate me. And domination is not the first year I'm here. I don't even know these players. And you got, like I said, you had a squad.
Wall and Cousins and those guys?
No. I'm talking about when Coach Mack, who is the coach of Louisville. First of all, I don't make Coach Mack wear Coach Pitino's losses. This is
I feel like that's been a big thing that's happened in this rivalry. I mean, like, when you look at the two games that they've played, the first one, I thought going into it, that was going to be a really bad matchup for Louisville.
Yes, everybody knows that.
And yes, people had kind of got bought into how Louisville might be Kentucky that year, that Kentucky had been struggling sometimes much this year. But at the end of the day, I was like, you're asking Jordan Ward to guard PJ Washington. And that's going to be an issue.
And before that, listen, and Jordan hadn't even played under Padgett. He didn't play Sutton, anybody. Okay. You forget Rick's years, Padgett snuck one in there and got wasted up in Rupp, right? Max 2 years are a loss and an overtime loss in Rupp. He lost to Tyler Hero and them at home, where Tyler Hero was working Ryan McMahon, right? And the next game, you lost an overtime game in Kentucky, right?
Right. Which that's the type of game like everyone says, oh, they just kind of roll over, they're tight, all that stuff. Louisville wasn't tight in that game last year. They were down double digits, but unlike the Patino teams that would roll over and fold, they battled back and forced overtime.
They battled
They
back.
didn't win the game,
Right,
but
right.
It was a different type of game.
Okay, so
where to pair them all with all the Patinos.
So now your head's open to what I'm saying, right? Okay, so I'm judging him on that stuff right there. Calipari saying, "Well, beat Brains for no, that dude is gone. You got to deal with this guy." And look, you know what else that old guy wouldn't do? Put that video together and show everybody what Cal is doing to make our life difficult. Why you let Cal try to say, "Oh, he's scared and he doesn't want to play." Let me tell y'all what, he does the video. Let me tell y'all what I had to go through with Calipari to make this game happen. Cancel 12, Notre Dame, Michigan, overseas, all that stuff he listed, right? Fast forward to the back or bring it back to the argument that I'm having about why I talk noise. Okay, so I say, as I cheer, like the University of Louisville is who I cheer for. Now, if you're a fan who just likes the basketball and it's not really a University of Louisville thing, listen, that's cool. So maybe that's why you check out, right? But if I say my program is the University of Louisville, and I explain this, I watched Louisville since we've been playing each other again in football. I watched Louisville wear you out. I watched us move conference, move up stadiums. I watched Louisville football program get the best of you for a long time. I watched my baseball teams, #1 in the country, waste y'all. I watched my soccer teams. I watched my women's basketball. I watched my women's volleyball. I watch my other teams, my soccer. I watch them waste you. I watch our names show up on the money list above you or in the same area. And I watch in the academics, I watch my university smoke you. I watch my medical field be at the front runner at COVID vaccines, and get national headlines, right? I watch all of this. And you got the resources of the entire state. You literally stole a player of the year from David Johnson and gave it to a guy who played 6 games because he was going to Kentucky. They've been doing that for years, Jack. So when you add up all of their resources and all the things they get away with, I don't know if you remember this, Jack. Do you remember when Kentucky complained about their seating?
Which time?
Okay. Let's say about 7-8 years ago.
Was it the Harrison team in 2014 when they were mad they were an 8 seed?
Maybe. But
Cal gets there on ESPN and does that every year.
But here's the thing. One year they were like, "Oh, you gave us this team and it's a good team and we're going to end up knocking them out early. So we really feel sorry for them." But they were complaining about their seeding, right? The next year, their athletic director was on a selection committee. The very next year. So he went from, "I don't like our seeding" to, "I'm going to be on a selection committee to make sure this never happens again."
He's the head of the selection committee this year, right?
Yes, I know that. And listen, and I say things like that during the summer and people call me a conspiracy theorist. Do you know?
Oh, yep, I have heard of that. Yep.
You know who the author or the co-writer of that book is?
Jerry Tipton?
Nope. David Scott.
Huh.
You know who David Scott is?
No, I do not.
Have you heard me talk about David Scott?
I feel like I have before.
He is the director of PR and he is a director at ESPN. That's why I say, with all your resources, we got the same number of championships. With all your resources, we got Heisman's. We show. So what I say is, we spend our money better. We spend our money better. We make our facilities better. We, as a program, we do things better. That's why I talk. That's why I talk proudly. That's why I talk trash proudly. Listen, if I say all these things that we know are true, right? Everything I just named is all true, right? And then you say, "Well, I don't care about anything else but basketball." then I'm like, okay, that's my point. I can always talk trash because I'm like, is that all you got? You know what I'm saying? Like, I compare my programs, you know what I'm saying, my entire university to your university. I'm a University of Louisville fan. So maybe that's where the disconnect is, where people who just cheer for the basketball team and then look.
I'm not saying all of that obviously does matter, but at the end of the day, the most important thing that most general fans on both sides are going to use is the men's basketball game.
Until it's convenient for them. Because when football comes up and wins a couple games, then they turn into the University of Kentucky. But other years, you know what the biggest running joke is?
Oh, yeah. Just wait till football. Or wait till basketball.
No. Spike the ball. Yeah. And I'm like, so if by default, if Louisville basketball fans carry that same football energy, you know what I'm saying? Where you just, you know what I'm saying? Like, hold yourself to the same standard.
Oh, I know. I mean, IU fans, unfortunately, a lot of IU fans do that with Notre Dame football. And that's a thing.
Is that what you got to deal with,
yes,
Jack?
that is something that I have to deal with.
Oh, God.
Yep.
Oh, Jack.
Yeah, people that are IU basketball, Notre Dame football
I didn't know
fans.
that.
Oh, it's so sad.
Oh,
it's
man.
so sad.
But yeah, like I said, listen, it is totally game week. I think I just showed y'all how much game week it is, because here we are sitting with Pittsburgh. They do not have their coach. They do not, which makes my anxiety level so much higher. But again, this is one of the games where I really didn't feel like player personnel was going to make the difference. Because any team in Division I ACC can bust you. Every guy on that team probably has a 50-point game, his senior year. You know how hard it is to score 50 points in a game? And that team probably has, like an NFL team they probably average, out of 55 guys, they probably average 25 quarterbacks, former high school quarterbacks on their team. There's tight ends and linemen who played quarterback in high school in the NFL. That's how good these guys are. So Pittsburgh can field the team that can waste you. And keep in mind, JJ Traynor is a late bloomer who really got into big like basketball for real, like freshman, sophomore year. He's a child in the basketball natural scheme of things. So if these guys that are juniors give him a problem, it wouldn't shock me. Aiden Gahan started at 15, 16. You're so late in starting basketball. That's why you're not natural. All we got who's natural is Carleek, David, and Sam, and Quinn.
Not Dre Davis?
Oh, sorry, Jack. Dre Davis is probably the most natural. he's probably actually the most natural. That's a good catch. But again, there, David has not been playing great. Sam, I don't know how this toe situation is with him. Would you sit Sam and just tell him get his toe healthy for the Kentucky game?
If it didn't go as badly as it did against Wisconsin, I think it's more important to try to get his head right, get him a good game to go into Kentucky.
I tell you what, if I see him on his closeout and he's scared to stomp his feet on his clothes, you know how they do out and their shoes squeak really hard on their closeout. You'll know early in the game if they're making that closeout noise, and you'll know if they're faking it. Like, watch their front leg on the closeout, y'all. When you're really going hard, it really screeches really, really, different from some guys just go and just purposely chop their foot to make it sound like they're closing out hard. Like, I know all the tricks. Like, dude, that was a fake closeout. You know what I'm saying? You made the sound with your shoe, but your body wasn't committed. You didn't run full speed and start stopping so that your shoes made the sound. You just jogged out there and then start going. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to be able to see early, like, is there a desperation for the Kentucky game? And I want to see Coach Mack. I want to see his attitude. I know he says it. One game at a time. I feel you, Coach. Listen, I played for Coach Crum. Don't get up too high or don't get up too low. Tell him, man, you get treated a little different post game. You bust Kentucky. Coach Crum tell you don't get up too high, but he's floating on clouds after he wins Kentucky. Hey, Coach, I thought you said, look, Coach got a new Cadillac or something. He went from white to candy apple red. After he got DC domination on the license plate. Listen, listen, people, none of that stuff is true. I just made that up, but that would, people that know Coach Crum are really laughing about that because he would never do something like that.
Music in a minute.
Point being, everybody, it is about the energy level and intensity that Louisville has, not like definitely on the perimeter defense, but on that inside. If I'm watching Pitt out rebound, throw it up and out rebound. If I'm watching them blow around our guys. By the way, Jack, do you know the spread at all? At it run quiet?
It was Louisville by 3 when I saw it earlier today.
It started off with Pittsburgh, didn't it?
Not that I think it started out Louisville by 1, then it jumped to Louisville by 3, and I'm guessing it's gone even more in Louisville's favor after the news came out.
Okay. Well, man, this year inside information is valuable, isn't it? Man. It's
now Louisville by 5.5.
You better answer the call. You better answer the bell, y'all. There's going to be some angry guys in here if they don't answer. But I'm excited for the ACC opener. Louisville versus Pittsburgh. People, have fun. Be safe. Might see you for a little bit of post game from the stream if I'm feeling good. That'll do it for the official ESPN Louisville pregame show on 939 The Ville.
What's up? 6:46, I think.
An official broadcast partner of the University of Louisville, WLCL Sellersburg is 93.9. Broadcast partner of the University of Louisville, WLCL Sellersburg is 93.9 The Ville.